again, I would like to welcome all the esteemed educators and distinguished dignitaries from India as well to this conclave, International Conclave on Educational Management. Let's put our hands together to all of us. Welcome you all. Without further ado, I want to progress, move forward in a formal way. I would like to request the organizer and the main host of today's International Conclave, the chairman and editor of Shikshalaya magazine, none other than Mr. Shyam Tandukar sir. Kindly be seated and to chair today's program. Today, I could see the eminent scholars and educators in this hall. So I will be requesting all of you to be kindly be seated. I'm gonna take out your names. Professor Dr. Siram Vagud Mathe, he's the chairman of Javier Academy and Foundation, one of the speakers for today's event. Sir, I request you to be kindly be seated. Similarly, we have an internationally acclaimed educator, trainer, motivator, and the writer, Dr. Dhiraj Mehrotra from India. So kindly be seated. Similarly, Anup Sharma, he's from India. I request, sir, kindly be seated on the dais. Similarly, we have Dr. Urvasi Sethi, madam, from India. Oh, sorry. Every time it gets mistaken. Usavati, madam from India. She is one of the speakers for today's event. Ma'am, kindly be seated. Similarly, we have Preeti Taggi, madam. Preeti Taggi from India. Welcome, madam. Dr. Monica Malhotra from India. Bharat Deep Garg. Bharat Deep Garg, sir, kindly be seated. Similarly, I request Dr. Amardeep Kaur. Kaur. Amardeep Kaur, madam. Similarly, Suminder Kaur. Kindly be seated, madam. Suminder Kaur from India. Preeti Jindal. Dr. Poonam Sharma. Dr. Rajneesh Bala. She is one of the panelists for today's event as well. We have a senior educational figure, Mr. Kriti Pandey. He's the principal of Rise School. So kindly be seated, sir. Similarly, we have Rajni Shrestha, principal, Academia International College. Rajesh Shrestha, sir. From Smatero AI, we have the founder, Jit Raghav, sir. Kindly be seated, Jit Raghav, sir. And Reena Bajracharya from the same company. Among the guests and dignitaries, we have Nayan Khatri. He is the Central PAPSHAN Vice President. Nayan Khatri, sir, welcome. One of the panelists and the seasoned educator, Ms. Dipti Acharya, principal from Sanskriti International School. We have Yogeshwar Raut, principal and educator from belonging a government school of Nepal. Yogeshwar Raut, sir. We have the vice principal, Mr. R.P. Basel, sir, from James School. Similarly, I request Prakash Shrestha, CEO, Javier Academy, kindly to take your seat, sir. We have Surya Pandey, an educational journalist from Gorkhapatra, Delhi. So welcome, sir, and be seated. Narvadu Khadka, principal he's from Jajarkot. So welcome. You are from Karnali, right, sir? Okay, welcome, sir. Similarly, we have Anita Kumari Dhami. She's from Bijeshwari School, Rukum. Okay, welcome, madam. I will be taking your names if I have missed. Oh, sorry. General Secretary of Principals Association Nepal, Mr. Lakshman Shrestha, kindly requesting you to be seated. Thank you, sir. Welcome. I will be continuing with this process. And now, all of us, now I kindly request all of us to rise to pay respect to our nation, both nations, Nepal and India. It's time for the national anthem. Kindly requesting all the guests of honors and dignitaries present out here to rise.
थुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली सयौं थुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली प्रकृतिका कोटि कोटि सम्पदाको आचल वीरहरूका राजधानी शान्ति भूमि तराई पहाड हिमाल अखण्ड यो प्यारो हाम्रो मातृभूमि नेपाल बहु जाति भाषा धर्म संस्कृति छन् विशाल अग्रगामी राष्ट्र हाम्रो जय जय नेपाल।
We are continuing.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Jai. Thank you very much. Today's conclave brings together visionary minds and dedicated professionals who are working to create learning environments that are more inclusive, engaging, effective, and future-ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Dr. Kedar Vakta Mathema has kindly consented to be the chief guest of today's event. He is arriving and then gracing today's conclave. Similarly, Dr. Bidyanath Koryala is also going to address today's event. Let's wait them for some time. And we have best of the best speakers today. They are going to share the insights on innovation and educational management. There are a lot of takeaways. Have patience, listen to them, interact. And similarly, we have two panel discussions in today's event. So let's make it more fruitful and more effective. To share insights on today's theme, now I'd like to request Dr. Sriram Bhagat Mathesa. He's an esteemed educationist with rich experience in academic leadership and educational development. We are pleased to have him with us in this conclave Innovation in Education, Transforming Learning, Technology, Teaching, and Educational Management. Let us invite Dr. Mathi to kindly share his insights on the conclave theme. Let's put our hands together. So have you got a presentation or? No. So.
I'm a field replacement speaker.
Yes.
Good morning to everybody. I just would like to, of course, acknowledge the presence of Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra, Dr. Usavati Sethi, I've got that right. And I think all the educationists who have come from India, I can't recollect the name. I was trying to find where their names are printed, but I couldn't find. So again, a very warm welcome to all our educationists and participants in today's program, and all the educationists from Nepal as well, policymakers, journalists, researchers who are here. So on my own personal behalf, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you in today's very interesting program. The theme is very interesting, and at the very outset, I would like to say that I'm actually feeling for Ram Hariji, who was supposed to come, but unfortunately, at the last minute, he had to cancel his presence. So Shyamji has asked me to fill in and say a few words on the theme. I will be speaking at greater length on innovative reforms in education later on in the afternoon session. But just to fill in the gap, again, as I would like to say that, technology is moving very fast. It is having a tremendous impact on the whole education structure, the way we teach in the classroom, etc. There are many people who basically say that teachers will be extinct and extinct as dodo at some point of time, because AI tutors will take over. But whatever is being said in terms of the total transformation that is taking place, I would simply like to say that the change itself is very, very frenetic. It's very, very frenetic in the sense that I will show later on when I make my presentation also. The change is so frenetic in the sense that they say that it took about 10,000 generations really to develop even the art of speaking, So people probably before that couldn't really communicate with each other. They were making probably noises that probably couldn't be understood by each other. But then later on, the change became very fast. You had 750 generations really to change the agriculture industry. Then you had about 500 generations when people started to write, 400 generations to develop the concept of library, 40 generations to develop universities. This is something I will mention later on in my presentation as well. So 40 generation library. Then you had 16 generations where you had the printing, press, etc. Then, 24 generations, 16 generations for the accurate clock. Then it became faster and faster. You had 5 generations to develop the telephone, 4 generations to develop the radio, 3 generations to develop TV, 2 generations for computer, 1 generation internet. So we are in a stage where things are moving very fast. So given that scale of transformation and the fact that AI is becoming more and more obtrusive and is taking control of our lives, we really need to make sure that the students, the graduate we produce, have got the critical 21st century skills and are really skillful. So knowledge and information is not enough. I think information statistics you can get from Google, ChatGPT and all that. What is more important is to produce graduates who can cope with the complexity of life. The change in innovation, they can probably be not only adjusted to what is happening, but take control of their lives. And that is the reason why we talk about the 21st century skills, etc. Besides that, I think something that we need to really be aware is that, it is a question of whether, there's a danger that, AI is going to replace human beings. I particularly do not subscribe to that viewpoint at all. I think, we humans have to be in control. We cannot allow AI to take control of our lives. I mean, they can be a co-pilot, and that is a term that has been used, where AI becomes a co-pilot. We cannot make AI the pilot, and we are just passengers. I think this is something that there's a very real danger in that. And I think in the course of the day, we'll be hearing different aspects of innovation, different aspects of, the reforms that need to be take place. And I think we have got a very distinguished panel of speakers and panelists. And then, as I said, very distinguished speakers and panelists who are here from India. And we also have our own group of experienced education panelists. The chief guest later on, Kedar Mathema, Dr. Kedar Mathema was one of the, I think, the best vice chancellor that Trivandrum University had, and was also the former Nepalese ambassador to Japan. So I think it'd be very good interesting to hear from him and other people who are there as well. So without taking much time, and to make up for the time we lost while waiting to start the program, I would simply like to again say thank you very much. We'd like to extend a very warm welcome to our guests from India. Hopefully, you'll have time to do a bit of sightseeing. But besides the takeaways that we'll have during the process of today's deliberations, I'm sure there'll be plenty of informal sessions when we can chat and interact with each other. And I think what's more important is that the interactions that we build today will continue onwards in the days to come. Because I think what is essential is that there needs to be cooperation, meeting of minds, and by only doing that, I think we can be more effective teachers, leaders, and educators. So with this, again, wish you all a wonderful day. And again, the success of today's deliberations will depend on how actively you all participate. So with this, I would like to wish Shyamji and thank Shyamji and the organizing team for organizing. And I'm sure his inspiration is Dheerajji. I mean, he's the one who's been the real back force in pushing Shyamji to organize international events of this sort. So special thanks to you. And then Usavati, Dr. Usavati is a very dear friend, even though I have just met her a couple of times before, but we interact very well. And all the guests out here, I think, let's hope and pray for a wonderful and productive and enjoyable day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sriram Bhagat for sharing today's conclave's theme. We are eagerly waiting for your presentation as well, Dr. Sriram Mathesa. Here's a new topic, design thinking, a problem-solving approach. It has now become a buzzword in the educational sector, design thinking, design thinking. What is it really all about? So to share his, research, we are going to have Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra. It's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra from India. Dr. Mehrotra is an internationally acclaimed educator, author, innovator, and teacher trainer with more than 3 decades of experience in transforming education through technology, quality management, and innovative teaching practices. He's a recipient of the prestigious National Teacher Award conferred by the President of India in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the field of education. An accomplished author, Dr. Mehrotra has written over 100 books on education, technology, artificial intelligence, school leadership, and quality management. Throughout his distinguished career, he has served in key leadership positions, including principal, educational officer, academic leader, and mentor to educators across India and beyond. His expertise spans education leadership, artificial intelligence in education, Six Sigma, neuro-linguistic programming, quality assurance, and digital transformation in learning. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra. So now the stage is yours.
catch the audio also? I don't think so. Can you have external or yeah, thank you. Can you switch off these lights? These lights. Excuse me? The hand mic here.
Well, good morning, everyone. Namaskar and greetings from India. It is a great pleasure for me every time I come to Nepal and every time I feel like I am in an extended home. Well, friends, learning to learn has to be a priority. And the more we learn, the more we earn in terms of honor, recognition, and pride. You people are here just because of one thing, that is knowledge. You have been regarded, you have been recognized is for one reason, knowledge. And hence, knowledge has to be a continuous Kaizen approach, which means continuous development, continuous thinking, and continuous working. That is what the 3K is of Japanese nature we need to imbibe. Kaizen, Kogo, and Kagane. Kaizen means continuous working, Kogo is continuous thinking, and Kagane is continuous working. That is the spectrum of success at any stage of working. And today, I'm really excited to share the idea about design thinking. Now, people may observe that this is something to do with computational thinking, CT. Now, in India, the computational thinking and AI has been introduced right from class 3 onwards. Just out of 1st of April, it was announced by the Education Minister that as per the National Education Policy, we have to integrate computational thinking and artificial intelligence from class 3 onwards. And I'm also excited to share that Nepal has been the pioneer of introducing quality circles in the curriculum. Thanks to Dr. Dinesh Chapagan, a wonderful friend. He initiated quality circles way back in late 90s. And for that reflective measure, it is we the educators who have to integrate learning as a priority. Coming to the topic, a quality initiative, design thinking for educators, and the idea is to spark innovation in the classroom, a storytelling journey for teachers ready to reimagine how to teach. Now here, I did mention about a term CT, which is computational thinking. Thinking with a logical frame of mind, anything and everything what we do. The term design thinking in education is a way to empower the learning so that the children don't sleep with their eyes open. They do it at times. You need to continuously stimulate ignite the minds of the children while they are present in the class. And that is the spectrum. You can't be just speaking, and they're just like, they can't use their stand also all the time, you know. You need to sparkle the curiosity in them, because curiosity is the new curriculum these days. With the threshold of learning, not at all the four walls of the classroom. It is actually beyond the threshold of the classroom that the learning is happening. Yes or no? With the help of technology. And the teachers henceforth has to be more, the teacher has to be more significant than their ChatGPT results. And that framework has to be continuously involved with the reference of learning, with preface of something which is VUCA, V-U-C-A. Now this VUCA word, the term VUCA came during COVID days. And it stands for volatile, uncertain, yes, complex and ambiguous. And for that reason, in education, it describes an unpredictable environment requiring schools to shift from traditional instruction to flexible, agile pedagogy. There are four corners. One can be an art corner, one can be a music corner, one can be singing corner, one can be something to do with manipulatives. Children, if they are not interested or they are not feeling like learning, they can go to these corners. One can be the storybook corner, and corner doesn't mean you need to have a corner. It can be anywhere facing the wall. Two tables you can place so the children can excitedly, they are very excited to learn through that particular rotational methodology. It is not only that when the teacher teaches and the children learn by their peers also, and they learn a lot. They learn in collaboration, quality circle approach. When they come together, there is a great learning. When four children sit together, there is brainstorming. And that aspect has to be relatively brought forward. And the idea here is the spectrum of the new classroom. Gone are the days of the chalk and the duster. Gone are the days of teaching through the books. Today we have flipped classroom. Today we have brainstorming sessions. Today we have teachers as architects they are the architects. Not only mentors, not only facilitators. They are architects using tools of teaching. And for that reference, I'm readily happy to use a tool to create a song for Mr. Shyam to thank him for a wonderful event. So the use of the app I'm doing is suno.com, and see what prompt I have written. What prompt I have written? Shyam sir, dekhiye. Yes, the prompt I have written is, thanks Mr. Shyam for organizing a wonderful event, International Education Conclave 2026 in Nepali. So the song should be in Nepali. It should be designed by the tool now with music and everything. I click here, create. It is creating. It is creating. So that aspect has to be brought forward, that how you're going to intelligently utilize the power of learning in a creative manner. Children want learning with an aspect of, this is creating, see? It is creating, let it get created. We come to our slide. Because the speed is slow, it will take a couple of minutes. So the learning here is tabulative, instant, and curative. It is not creative. it is curative. Mind my words. And the children are not only consumers of the knowledge, they are the curators of knowledge. Ma'am, tell us something new. This is already in the book. That is the new curiosity among the children. We all tell them, the sky is blue. But now the children are questioning the answers of the teachers. They are not only answering the questions of the teachers, they are questioning the answers of the teachers, and they are asking, ma'am, you are telling sky is blue. Tell us why the sky is blue. And that is the new curiosity which has come in the classroom, with a reference of, as I said, ultimate. This is the talk of the town. And I'm sure this is happening in Nepal also. Sir is sitting from higher academics. There is something which we are missing out in the education system, which is not making our kids employable. And we have to do a little brainstorming on that. For that reference, lot many things need to be done. What industry actually needs? Empathy. We are not teaching empathy. Empathy, बहुत छोटा शब्द है, but it has a great meaning. It is not sympathy, it is empathy. The second most important thing is creativity, which is missing in our students. Also at the same time, collaboration. Everyone wants to do things in isolation and put the same on the Facebook, as I have done that. But castles are not made single-handedly. You can't create wonders single-handedly. And henceforth, collaboration. Critical thinking, yes. You have to see to every point of view. We call it three-dimensional, I call it all-dimensional. Ulat ke, palat ke, bahar bhi. You know, out-of-the-box thinking also has to be done. Then, problem-solving attribute. And that problem-solving attribute comes with pride. Now the question comes, are we preparing them for their future? Or we are just preparing them to consume the knowledge around them? And that is a priority we need to meet out. What is design thinking is our priority. Dear friends, design thinking talks about turning classrooms into laboratories. And remember, teaching is a priority with preface of dealing with living beings. Doctors have the option of giving what? Anesthesia. And then they do the operation. You don't have the liberty of giving anesthesia. Do you have? You have to play with the live people. And you have to do your experiment. Framing the minds of the children, developing the brains of the children. And it's not that easy. For that reference, I have a little video.
Design thinking for educators, cultivating mindset and transforming teaching. Design thinking is a human-centered, creative problem-solving approach that empowers educators to reimagine teaching and learning. Originally developed in the design world, it follows a simple yet powerful 5-stage process: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. How design thinking cultivates an educator's mindset. Empathy-first approach. Teachers learn to deeply understand their students' emotions, challenges, strengths, and aspirations through observation and interviews. This shifts the focus from "what should I teach?" to "what do my students truly need?" Growth and experimentation mindset. It encourages teachers to embrace failure as feedback, stay curious, and adopt a builder's mentality rather than a fixed one. Collaboration and creativity. Teachers move from being sole knowledge providers to facilitators and co-creators, fostering a classroom culture of shared learning. Transforming teaching, making learning an adventure. Design thinking turns traditional classrooms into dynamic, student-driven spaces. Student agency. Students become active problem solvers instead of passive listeners. They tackle real-world challenges, e.g. sustainability, community issues, school problems, using the same 5 stages. Iterative learning. Mistakes are celebrated as part of the journey. Students prototype ideas, test them, gather feedback, and improve, mirroring how innovators work. Joyful and purposeful learning. Lessons. Become exciting adventures filled with empathy interviews, brainstorming, rapid prototyping, sketches, models, role plays, and reflection. Personalized and inclusive. Teachers can design differentiated experiences that meet diverse learner needs, making education more equitable and engaging. In practice, a teacher might use design thinking to redesign the way students learn fractions by turning it into a project where they design a fair market stall or solve a community budgeting problem. Outcome. Classrooms become innovation labs where curiosity thrives, resilience is built, and learning becomes an exciting adventure rather than a routine task. Design thinking doesn't just improve teaching, it prepares students for the future by developing critical 21st century skills: empathy, creativity, collaboration, and adaptability. Educators who adopt it often report higher student engagement, deeper learning, and renewed passion for their profession. It's not just a method, it's a powerful mindset shift. Clone my voice.
Well, the fact is that we need to understand this aspect of learning as a priority. Now I will reflect on the idea of the 5 stages of design thinking. Now, first is the empathy, the empathization, listen and observe to understand their failures. Define their problem. Identify the problem in the classroom or with the children. Ideate. Ideate is the term which means giving it a little reflection through discussions. Ideate. I'm going to ideate the lesson in the classroom. Now these words have a meaning very clear to our understanding. It has been developed through idea, ideation, right? Brainstorming, then we have prototype, develop, build a model, and the development, test through observation, and then, of course, the circle gets repeated. So the idea with the 5 stages include the reflection. Now, when we talk about the 5 stages, it talks about conducting research to understand the problem of the child. Define the problem is to analyze the insights to define the core problem. Ideating is, as I told you just now, brainstorming over that issue. Then prototyping it, building prototypes, test often and refine solutions based on the feedback, and implement the prototype. Now, these terms reflect to the identity, and since you are learning the term design thinking, you should know where it has come from, right? Out of the blue. Like the word Kaizen, I said it is from Japan. Similarly, to understand its origin, although the term design thinking gained mainstream traction in the 2000, its roots go back to the 1960s when design theorists began advocating for design as a way of thinking. In the 1990s, institutions like Stanford's D School and the design firms like IDEO played a pivotal role in formalizing and popularizing the design thinking process. So when we get to this, we are actually implementing it in the classroom. The human-centered, need-driven, innovation-led design thinking, not just for designers. Remember, it is an approach to be used by the class teachers as a case study. And that reflection is going to rotate to deliver a priority learning in the classroom. And that aspect talks about collaboration. It talks about brainstorming. It refers to mind mapping. And it also talks about rapid ideation. Now, ideation, the term ideation means idea generate karne wala. Brainstorming is, in Hindi we call it matha pachi. But in English it means orderly way of generating ideas. And that has to be a common procedure in the classroom to narrate learning. Next, the approach talks about in a very simple
Ever
way.
feel like you're tossing great lessons into a black hole and hoping something sticks? I've been there. Kids glaze over. Time runs out and you're stuck wondering what to fix first. Here's the move. Teach with design thinking. Not as a buzzword, as your daily workflow. It's 5 steps. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. Sounds fancy. It's actually teacher common sense with a jetpack. Empathize, start with students. Quick check-ins, 2 question surveys. Watch where they struggle. Define, turn clues into a clear problem. Our lab directions lose half the class by step 3. Ideate, brainstorm fast. Visual cues, peer coaches. Mini stations, no judging. Prototype, pick one tiny change and run it tomorrow. Test, gather feedback with exit tickets. A 60-second chat, rinse and repeat. Why it works. Engagement jumps, planning gets faster. Differentiation becomes natural. Behavior issues drop. Assessment improves. Cross-curricular projects feel doable. Worried about time? Use sprints. Monday, empathy snapshot. Tuesday, define the snag. Wednesday, brainstorm 5 fixes in 5 minutes. Thursday, prototype 1 tiny tweak. Friday, test and reflect. That's it. 1 week, 1 upgrade, compounding over the year. Quick example, students tune out during lectures. Empathize, ask, when do you feel lost? Define, too much info at once. Ideate, chunked slides. Think, pair, share. Guided notes. Prototype, 8-minute micro lecture. 2-minute peer digest. Test, did quiz scores or confidence ticks rise? Keep what works. The promise, a calmer room, clearer data. Kids who lean in because class feels built for them. You don't
Now,
need more hours. You need
certainly, you have taken that example.
Start with one
Children
class
are
this
feeling
week.
lost in the
One
classroom.
pain
That can
point.
be a design
One
thinking
tiny
project for you.
prototype.
It has
Then watch the momentum
ideated
take over.
what way. What way can I
take
make it
progress
better?
over perfection
There can be 8-minute
every
classroom.
single day.
There can be a 8-minute
You in?
session. And then looking forward, that comes with reflection. And also at the same time, we need to understand that how you can bring everyday changes in the classroom. Because the reference talks about the teaching methodology, how you connect, how you refer, how you praise the children in the classroom, how you build the engagement meter in the classroom. That is of so great importance. At the very time, the children know that the teacher is good or bad, right? Very reference, very clear to the fact, but they can't speak out that that English teacher is not that good, but I have to attend the class. But they very well tell this to their parents, right? Today, that teacher is having 3 periods and I'm not going to go to this school. Similarly, the other teacher who is so good, the children are going to speak out. Even if I'm not well, I'll take medicine, but I can't miss those periods. Children will only like the subject if they like the teacher. And that is the point where the design thinking has to come forward. The curiosity, you're going to engage the curiosity of the children by giving them assignments. Otherwise, the teacher's dilemma of diverse needs, engagement gap, and of course, the pressure to innovate will always be there. And that reflection, of course, I'm taking a case study over here. Priya, I was doing everything by the book and still losing them. I study everything. The book has everything, but still I'm missing out on my marks. What can be the reason? Now, Priya is a passionate middle school science teacher, noticing her students drifting away during complex topics. It happens. When you try to understand the teacher's worry in the classroom, there is a reflection. Traditional lecture may not be enough. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some design thinking on attributing to the result. How and what way should I be teaching to make learning possible? And that new approach is the design thinking approach. See how it was brought forward with human-centered approach, the creative process approach, and the mindset, the positive mindset. Right? So what are the 5 steps of design thinking? Number 1, empathy. Number 2, ideate. Number 3, prototype, test. Yeah. So that reference has to be taken forward. Even CBSE in India, the biggest board in the world, Central Board of Secondary Education, has initiated design thinking as a chapter, not only as a chapter, but as a subject in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And they're grading students out of this expertise learning. So for sure, we need to check out how best we are going to be understanding this subject as a priority in the classroom learning. So this is the QR code. You can always download a free book on design thinking, right? It is being referred to by the Government of India, and initiation is there. So you can check out on the FAQs of what and why of design thinking is being brought forward in schools, right? So this QR code mentions that very rightly. You can take a picture and then scan the image afterwards. And coming forward, as I told you about the history of design thinking, it got developed through the D School Stanford initiation as the pioneer. Let's learn about the first step, empathy. Now, empathy is to understand your students. There may be slow learners. There must be, all types of learners in the classroom. But you have to make sure that you develop your engagement meter by asking questions in the classroom with 90% of the children can answer. Then only you can develop the engagement meter. That's the first step of your empathetic step of design thinking, right? The second is the action. Design thinking in action, when we talk about it, the definition of the problem is so very important. After empathize, you need to check the definition part. You need to ideate with brainstorming. You need to develop a prototype and test. Now, there can be many problems which you can take as a design thinking approach. Let's take a little brainstorming here. What are the distractions in the classroom? Yes? Noise. Okay. Next. Lack of interest among the children. This can be one of your design thinking project. Then, lack of knowledge, incompetency, unpreparedness of the teacher. You are asking questions, telling them or talking about IPL and all that stuff, just wasting time. Children may like that, but that's not the thing you are there for. Right? So you need to develop the connect. You need to develop the preparedness of the children in that very regard. Right? So this is the format. Each stage brought forward, as you can see, and of course the teachers, students got closure, and this is how the eco challenge success came forward. right? The idea is how it's going to be connected. So when we talk about considering this project, this is going to empower teachers through skills. A design thinking project for school students from class 5 to 10 can be a plastic-free school campus as well, right? I'm sure with sustainability as a goal, many of you must be practicing it. So this is one such project you can take as a design thinking project. Impress your parents by informing them about this project because there's something new every time, right? And that project can be taken forward as a part of learning. It will engage critical thinking, it will engage teamwork, it will talk about environmental responsibility, and it will talk about innovation as well. At the same time, the project can be about the centered approach. I've already shared about this initiation. It talks about purpose, planning, preparation, participation, pacing, and of course, progress monitoring. Now, this is a part of the process through which the whole ideate works. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it because of the projector? Yeah. It got rebooted, I think. Yeah? Okay. Right. Can you switch on this light? Off, sorry, off. Now, the first stage which I was telling, what do students do? For 1 full week, students observe the school campus, give them an exercise, go through and find out the improvements. This can be a design thinking project for you, right? Interview students, teachers, housekeeping staff, canteen vendors, ask why is plastic used so frequently? What waste is generated the most? Understand the difficulties people face in reducing plastic. Then, what do the children learn? The children learn the empathy, seeing the problem through others' eyes, not sympathy. Right? And then observation, very clear. Active listening. The outcome is students develop a genuine multi-perspective understanding of the whole concern. And that's a DT project in action. The second phase talks about identifying. Identifying the core problem. And I think it's very clear now what children come with. And for the plastic waste only, our school generates excessive single-use plastic waste every day because staff rely heavily on plastic bottles, wrappers, and disposable items. So what next? Ideate, generate solutions. Ideate. आप लोग ये कर रहे हो. You are doing it, but with a different framework. Apply design thinking, and that's all you can get it. See, steel bottle campaign. Steel bottle campaign. Children are doing it. I know it's pretty costly, but they can be taught to take care of it. Yeah? Ask them to write the name, inscribe the name and things. Cloth bag initiative. We are doing it. Yes. Recycling corners, reward system. Recognize and reward students who consistently demonstrate plastic-free habits. And that's, I'm very sure all of you are doing it wonderfully well. And when we talk about it, then comes the next step, the step number 4, prototype. Building the solution model that every class should have a guideline. No plastic bottle, no plastic pencil box, you know, no leaving around bits of paper. And similarly, you can bring forward the planned action, the skilled which they are going to be developing through this, and they get the best idea and bring it to practice through this methodology. Also test. Now the final stage of design thinking is testing, whether it's working or not. If it is working, it's fine. Otherwise, you revisit on that ground. Right? So testing, when students monitor, and then of course the feedback comes with the priority. And when we talk about that feedback, The observatory methodology is brought forward, parent feedback during interactions, canteen vendor observations. They're excited, they're happy, and you can see how these things come into practice. So this is a simple example of implementation of design thinking in schools. This implementation of one project will take 3 to 4 weeks, and then of course can engage grades from classes 5 to 10. Of course, the teacher's role, the mentor's role will come forward. You're going to initiate guide discussions, facilitate observations, encourage participation, and monitor implementation. That's the biggest thing. And for that reason, I would like to mention that Indian CBSE board has also implemented Kaushal Bodh, which is a Sanskrit word, which means skill development. Yeah? So we are trying to integrate skill development in that scenario. So this is the outcome, and coming forward with that reference, of course, we need to understand the initiation. Actionable steps for your classroom: start small. Observe and listen the children and collaborate and embrace the interaction. That's the idea. And when we come forward, the future of education is designed by you, dear educators. And that framework has to be brought forward. Has to be brought forward as an innovator, as a facilitator, and as a catalyst. Now, in the last framework, a couple of minutes I will take, sir. I was preparing a song to thank you, and that song has been prepared, and I'm going to play that song. Yeah, I'm not going to create that song. Of course, it has been created. You can see the lyrics have been generated, and I'm going to play it. Everyone is going to clap for you, sir. The idea is to thank Mr. Shyam while the song is being played. Right? This is created in Nepali with the help of an AI tool. Just get me my back. International Education Conclave. Yes, I think he deserves a recognition here. Volume increase. Sir, please. Computer has helped me to thank this gentleman to create a song in Nepali, right, for him, right? So this is how you can utilize this. You can download this file as MP3 file and you can share it. Similarly, you can create a song for happy birthday for your children, happy birthday for your family members. You can create a song for having some annual day celebration, theme song. Everything it can generate with music, and you can implement that uniqueness of teaching excellence in your classroom. So thank you very much, and God bless each one of you. Thank you.
Ladies and Once again, let's put our hands together to thank Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra. Indeed, the music soothed our mind, and this is an innovation. This is what our children and students are wanting in our classrooms. Thank you, Shor, for sharing the valuable insights on design thinking. This is the high time to change our teaching learning approaches in the classrooms and beyond. We now move to one of the most anticipated segments of our conclave, the panel discussion. Dear participants and dignitaries, I would like to request all of you to engage actively, participate in question answers, show that you can at least implement one innovative practices in your school. For the panel discussion, we have the topic, Innovation in Educational Management, Transforming Teaching and Learning. For this panel discussion, we have invited eminent scholars and educators from Nepal as well as India. Hopefully, you'll be fully engaged and participate. We are indeed living in a time of unprecedented change, rapid technological advancements, evolving workforce demands, artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and changing the learner expectations are reshaping the educational landscape across the world. Traditional approaches to teaching and learning are being challenged, while new opportunities are emerging to make education more accessible, inclusive, personalized, and impactful. To make it more interactive and an engaging session, we have thought leaders, as I already said, from Nepal and India. So let me invite all the panelists out here on the dais. Ms. Dipti Acharya, Principal, Sanskriti School. Mr. Laxman Shrestha, General Secretary of Principals Association. Similarly, we have Dr. Advocate Rajnish Bala from Punjab, India. Dr. Varaddeep Garg. May I kindly request you to come forward? And Dr. Amaddeep Kaur. I'm definitely going to introduce all our esteemed panelists in detail. Once again, good morning. It's exactly noon here, right? Once again, let's put our hands together for the eminent panelists for today's panel discussion session. For the panel discussion session, today's topic is Innovation in Educational Management, Transforming Teaching and Learning. For today's panel discussion, we have Dr. Amandeep Kaur. Ma'am, could you please raise your hand? You can sit and raise your hand, right? Amandeep Kaur, an accomplished academic leader and educationalist with extensive experience in higher education and institutional development. She currently serves as the principal of Akal Degree College, where she has been instrumental in strengthening academic excellence, promoting value-based education, and fostering a culture fostering a culture of innovation in teaching and learning. Dr. Kaur is widely recognized for her commitment to education leadership, curriculum advancement, and empowering learners. We are privileged to have her as the part of the panel discussion, and we look forward for her valuable insights on innovation in education. Please join me welcoming Dr. Amandeep Kaur. Our next panelist is Dr. Varaddeep Garg, an experienced education leader and respected school administrator from India. He is currently serving as the principal of CBSE affiliated schools in Sangrur, Punjab. Am I right, sir? Okay. Dr. Garg is known for his commitment to modern pedagogical approaches, effective school management, and fostering an environment that encourages both academic achievement. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Varaddeep Garg as well. So, welcome. Next panelist is Dr. and advocate, Rajneesh Bala. Besides her involvement in education, she is an eminent advocate as well. She is from Ludhiana, Punjab, an educator and professional committed to the advancement of education and social development. Alongside her distinguished career in law, she has been actively engaged in the field of education, contributing to awareness, mentoring, and capacity building. As an educator, she is known for her commitment to values-based learning. We are delighted to have her with us in this discussion, and we look forward to her valuable insights on innovation in education and educational transformation. Let's welcome Dr. Rajneesh Bala. Similarly, a seasoned lady and educator, none other than Miss Dipti Acharya. She is a distinguished educator, educational leader, and advocate for progressive learning in Nepal. Ms. Acharya is the founder, director of Sanskriti International School, one of the Nepal's pioneering institutions in innovative and international education. An AMI-trained Montessori educator with a master's degree in Montessori education from the United States, she has dedicated more than 2 decades to transforming learning experiences for young learners. In recognition of her contributions in education, she was recently appointed as the ICA Ambassador for Nepal, International Curriculum Association. Beyond education, Ms. Acharya is actively involved in leadership development and social advocacy, championing initiatives that empower educators, women, and young people. Please join me welcoming Ms. Dipti Acharya. Similarly, we have an energetic person, Mr. Laxman Shrestha. He's a respected education leader, school principal, and prominent voice in Nepal's educational leadership community. Mr. Shrestha currently serves as the General Secretary of Principals Association of Nepal. He is also the principal of Sitala Secondary School, I guess a government school, right, sir? A pioneering school among community schools. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Laxman Shrestha to this panel discussion. Dear participants and dignitaries, let's try to make it more engaging and fruitful. We will be throwing some questions to our panelists today, and followed by Q&A sessions. So be ready to pose some interesting questions. So, dear panelists, are we ready? Yes. Okay. Let's start with Varaddeep, sir, Dr. Varaddeep. What does it really mean in innovation in education? Microphone, please. So start with this.
Hello. Yes. First of all, good afternoon, all the dignitaries and co-panelists. What is the innovative education? Innovative education is nothing more. We have to introduce the new practices in the field of education. That will be done by the educators. We all educators, we have the responsibility of that. Now the education is not limited to the traditional teaching. We are not fixed with the bookish knowledge, and we have to think beyond the bookish knowledge. We have to change the scenario in our education system. There it comes a role of the innovative education. Innovative education is that when students will practically they will do the things on the ground level. The practical implementation of these things should be there. They should practice the things, they should learn the things. As sir has said, the ideation. It must be related to the ideation. They must create their ideas in their mind. They must do the things practically. Then it is called the innovative practices in the education. They can build solution for the different problems when they are coming for the ideation, and that is called innovative practices. And the role of technology is also is very important with this, that play an important role in this.
Thank you, sir. So let me ask the same question, since we are highlighting innovation, to Dr. Rajnish Bala. What does innovation mean in today's rapidly changing world?
Good afternoon, everybody. Vande Mataram. Bolo bhi Indians, Vande Mataram. So innovation, it is not just changing the books to the screen. It is about changing pattern for the students so that they prepare for the future. One of the words said by Mr. Malhotra, that the creative word is a narrow term. Curative term, it is a wider term. Sir, we have listened to your lecture. So innovation, it is necessary in today's world, but the thing is how? The teachers don't know. There are many reasons behind that. But coming to my main point, innovation is necessary. Creativity, curability, new ideas for the teachers and the students, both is essential. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Let me ask our next panelist, Dipti Acharya, madam. Since you are practicing, innovations in education management, similarly progressive education in Nepal, what are the most significant innovations currently transforming student learning? Significant innovations currently transforming student learning. Can you share, ma'am?
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, we have to understand what innovation is. When we talk about innovation, we only think about inventing new things, but not necessarily. It means that you take the ideas, the basic ideas, and you mold it into something new so that we can solve a problem. I have an example, and I think it resonates with all of us. We had the trunks while traveling in the olden centuries. So the trunk was always there. But it was only in the 1800s that it came to something more smaller. Louis Vuitton came with the leather suitcase. And it was only after a century in 1970 where the breakthrough happened by Bernard Shadow, where a wheel was attached to the suitcase. Imagine after 100 years. And it was only after in the 2000s when 4 wheels were attached to it. So innovation was there. There was a trunk, but it took a century for us to break through with 2 wheels. Why couldn't we have done 4 wheels right away? So it doesn't work that way. So innovation is just a process. And the innovation that we are working in school is because technology right now is such a big thing, it's such a buzzword, we think that innovation means only technology, but not necessarily. So like in my school, I can give 2 examples. We do a lot of outdoor learning, and we also do innovation lab, Fab Lab, where there's a lot of prototype and robotics, project-based learning, and design thinking happening. But at the same time, we believe in outdoor learning a lot because it's very important that as humans, we go back to nature. When we talk about climate action, unless and until children really go out into the nature and understand where is the lungs of the city. So for Kathmandu, the children should understand the lungs of Kathmandu is the Shivapuri hills, where the water resource comes from. So unless and until, children are actually molded into going into nature and understanding, then they will not be able to understand the problem and they'll not be able to solve the problem. So our children go to this place called Haveli. We call it the Haveli Learning Center in Kakani. And our grade 5 starts, so they go there for about 18 days a year. So one project learning that we did, because we try to integrate all the subject there. So grade 5, they learn all the subjects there, and they integrate those subjects into their learning right at the end, and they do a project. So we give them an idea, what do you want to do? So that we could integrate all the subjects. So the children, this was, I think, in 2015, and our children came up with an idea because there are lots of plums grown there. So they said, let's collect the plums, let's bring it back to school, let's make plum jam, and then sell it. And this was the idea brought by the children, because they had gone there and they saw there were a lot of plums there in the forest. So that's what we did. So we brought the plums back, they got it back, they made the jars, they cleaned the jars, they made the labels, they actually charged, okay, how much to, so they did maths and science and, everything possible that was needed, and we sold it to the parents. It was such a breakthrough innovation for the children to do. Similarly, in the Fab Lab, our children come up with design thinking, and they are making probably mugs and T-shirts, and they're coming up with photographs. So we do posters, we do T-shirts, and we sell it in e-commerce from our website. So basically, we're teaching children that we just need to look into the world around us and see where can we make a development, where can we put in our input, and where can we come out with an outcome so that we can have some kind of economy going on in the town. So it has to be very practical, I feel. And these are the 2 examples that I can share right now about innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, sharing your own experiences that's happening at a school. Coming to Laxman Shrestha, sir, let me ask you a very simple, related to digital thing. How is the role of a teacher changing in the digital age? How is the role of the teacher changing in this digital age?
Thank you. I think this question is very easy to listen, but very difficult to answer. Because of time, everything is changing. Within a second, we have got so much more changes that is not easy to adapt or adopt. But again, according to time, we need to move away. We need to go there, and we need to be in that situation. So I think using some resources, digital tools, and making ideas, and facing and coping the problems, and moving according to time is necessary for us. So teachers and educators, especially those people who are engaging in this type of education field, they should be go according to time, and using all those types of situational gadgets, devices, applications, and positive mindset should be over there.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask to Dr. Bharatdeep, sir. How can teachers balance technology use with meaningful human interaction in the classroom?
Right.
Dr. Bharatdeep.
Teachers, how they can manage the technology with their human interactive resources in the classes. Instead of I'm answering this question, I'm going to make some questions here. We already aware that today's education is not possible without technology. The innovative techniques and technology is must for the education. But my question is that if we leave everything on the technology itself, will it be fruitful in the classes? Will our students will be empathized? As sir has said, ki empathy must be created among students. Will students be able to create ideation among their mind? No. Will they be able to solve? They will go for the critical thinking, and they will come with the solutions of the different problems. Can they do at their own with the help of technology itself? No. We need a very innovative or very good interactor or mentor in the classes who can relate the technology with his or her fruitful lessons, so that the imparted knowledge should be directly approachable to the students. So there is a role of teacher who can explain, who can give the students, who can create the empathy among the students, who can create different scenario in the classes. Because teaching is not only that we are seeing something from the screen and we are learning the things. We have to relate the things with the real life problems. Whatever the child is learning, if it is not related to the real life problems, will it be of any use in their life? No. That is a need of the hour. So it's the role of the teacher. By the use of technology, it will be very easy for the teacher to impart, to show the things to the students. But with the interactive human resources use, making the seminar among the students, creating the things and telling them the path, the students can take good out of the class, of the topics. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, it's a big challenge for teachers like us to adapt to the new technologies and the innovations. So let me ask the questions to Dipti ma'am again. Based on your experience, what support and professional development do teachers need to become effective innovators?
Thank you so much. Like I think everybody here agrees, and all of you educators agree, our children are so much more equipped, because especially now, from grade 1 to even from preschool to 10, we have all generation alpha. So generation Z is also out of my school now. So we had to now rethink when we were doing the teacher training, professional development planning, how do we actually prepare our teachers to teach generation alpha? And because they've been born with gadgets, they've been born with screens. In fact, from 2026, generation beta is coming, so we have to be equipped in making sure that we are better facilitators and we are better mentors in the classroom. And it is a challenge because a lot of teachers still lack that technology skills. So I feel, first of all, we have to make the teachers comfortable. So social emotional learning is very important. Teachers, adults come with their own baggages in the classroom. First of all, they have to be happy. I always feel that teachers have to be extremely happy coming to school, more than the children. So first of all, we work on the social emotional learning where we train and we give the skills of teachers becoming stronger emotionally, understanding their needs, and then they'll be able to provide the needs for the children. So that is number one that we have kept in our professional development right now. Secondly, we do a lot of AI classes. It's not easy because we forget. And adults, like right now, especially for millennials and for generation X, we are very scared of gadget. We're still scared. We still don't want to go into it. For the youngster, for a 2-year-old, you tell them to go and they'll find out things. They are not afraid. But we were taught in a way that everything was no. Mat karo, yo nagara, mat karo, yo karo. So we've been so accustomed to those things, we are very scared of technology. So first of all, allow them to make mistakes. So teachers have to make mistakes, and just like children have to make mistakes. Unless until we don't make mistakes, we will not learn further. That continuous professional development for teachers is a must. I don't know how you do it. You do it during the day, you do it during a morning, a free time, a Sunday or a Saturday, but the continuous professional development, but allowing teachers to make the mistakes. So you teach them something, you tell them, please go and work it out in their class. Maybe it works, it doesn't work. Because something that works for me probably will not work for her. So please go and try it. So unless and until you try it, you will not be able to know how to innovate that. Secondly, observe them. So once they go into that classroom with that training, with that skill, you need to have people, professionals observing them and giving them feedback. And nowadays it's called feed forward, not even feedback. Because you need to give them instant feedback. Unless and until you give them that feedback, saying that, see, there's nothing personal here. There is this little feedback I need to give you. And unless and until positively you can take it, the growth will not happen. The progress is not going to happen. So this is why we need to have the professional development training and observation.
Thank you, madam. You have definitely an advantage to train your teachers to be innovators. The educational landscape of India and Nepal is very similar. Many of our schools are community or public government schools, right? So in this rapidly changing world, to train and change our teachers is a big challenge, right? Bringing technology in our classrooms and schools, a big challenge. So in this light, in this situation, how can we, bring all these innovations in our schools? I'm talking about all the schools. Since innovation means bringing our education more inclusive and accessible. So Laxman sir, since you belong to government school, How can we bring all these innovations and training our teachers to become innovators? Don't you think it's a big challenge for us in Nepal?
In fact, all of those activities which is related to our students, especially in public schools, it is being a type of burden, because private schools, they invest a huge amount of money in research, training, innovation, and they get paid versions, and they can use all those facilities provided by different applications and so on. But about public schools, they become unable to manage extra money for buying all those things. Like that, for example, suno.com, or like that any other applications. If we pay money, in that time we can get much more facilities. And if we don't pay, and if we use them in free of cost, then they don't provide us much more features. That's the problem for us, because private companies, private boarding schools, and private educational institutions, they pay money, and they buy all those things, and they provide to the students. But what happens to public school is, they don't collect, they don't take any money from those students. They don't take monthly fee, exam fee, admission fee, and so on. That's why they are being unable to use all those things. But again, nowadays, local government has paid much more attention on it. That's why they have provided internet facilities, interactive smart boards, and so on. But again, human resource, or the teachers who are working over there, they are not being able to use them. So gradually, the local government and province government and the federal government also trying to provide those type of skills, attitudes, behaviors, and trainings to the teachers. That's why that is being a problem for us. But again, we can work together, whether they are from private institutes or public, because we all are working for providing education to the students. We are making our civilization better than before. If we discuss about all the different countries like India and Nepal and any other countries, we can work together. Because of internet facilities, we are in a small village. This is not a huge or large or immense world. It's very small. So if you have got any facilities, we can use them. If we have got any that types of positive situation or working environment, and you can use them. So if we work together, we can use them, and then the civilization of the world, not only it's about Nepal, India, or any other countries. If we work together, we can be better civilization, better education, and better society. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Laxman sir. Let me ask the same question. Let me put the same questions to Advocate Rajneesh Bala, madam. Since you are working in justice as well, let me repeat again. The situation in both in India and Nepal is similar. How can we bring justice in terms of inclusivity and accessibility to children in all schools?
Sir, I think the condition of education in India and Nepal is same. And it is not worth. Because out of 100%, 5% public schools, they are doing the work well, but as said by sir, they are taking lot of money. In India, the payment to the teachers is not given as per the standard set. It's better that we both elaborate so that we will make the education level high. So there is a problem that management is not giving payment to the teachers. That's why they are not interested. And similar is the means position of principals. They are just the stamp. Whatever the management will say, we used to say, yes, ma'am. no if, no but. So this is the scenario. Then how we will develop the technology among the teachers and the students? So I think the payment to the teachers, the job security should be there. In the government school, like the sir, he is sitting, he is having job security. You are having job security, but I am from public sector, private sector. I don't have. I don't know whether tomorrow I will go to school or not. So this is the scenario. We as an educators are not satisfied, then how we will satisfy our students? So thank you so much. I am having a lot to say.
Thank you, madam.
But it's okay.
Now let me ask questions to Dr. Amandeep Kaur, madam. It's related to AI. We talk often about AI, right? How AI is emerging and reshaping education, and what are the opportunities and risks associated with it?
Yes, so as we know that education is not only imparting knowledge, but to develop skills and a particular kind of attitude, positive attitude. So as a teacher, we have to train the head of the students, the heart, as well as hands. So as sir has discussed in his presentation, AI is a co-pilot with teacher. AI is doing very well, but nothing can replace teacher. For qualitative education, teacher must inspire students. As we know, a great teacher always inspires. So AI is good. We are having 24/7 library, digital library. We are having MOOCs. We are having ODLs. So all these are helping a lot. But you are asking about risk. So there is a risk of over dependence over technology. If we want to write a essay and a student write by using chat GPT or whatever, so it is over dependence, creativity is lost. So digital tools must be low cost. A student residing in last inhabited village must have the same tool like a Delhi student. So there are risk of privacy, digital privacy, plagiarism, bias. These are the risks. Thank you.
Let me ask some questions to Dr. Baradeep. What ethical considerations should guide the use of AI? Ethical considerations, use of AI?
Actually, sir, AI has no limits. But it is the need of the hour, so we have to introduce AI. Because if we want that our nation must develop, it should stand the countries which are in the West. So AI is must that a student should learn, but constraints come on the ethical part. It can create God, it can create devil. The thing is that we are preparing our students, we are introducing AI and CT, as sir has guided already. CBSE is introducing CT up to 3rd to 5th and 6th onward. AI is mandatory now. Why it happened? 4 to 5 months back, the different countries have participated on their AI level, but grading was AI was very low. Reason we have not worked on the root cause of the AI. Means it should be introduced from the very school and beginning level. I am making comparison with the West countries. So this was the scenario. Then the program has been launched at AI, but ethical constraints come that when we are going to equip our students, we are teaching them AI. We have given them some boundaries. We are teaching them some steps and all. They are using AI. There can be two minds which can go, which can make construct or which can make bar like this. So it can be a problem for us.
Thank you, sir. Now let me take to educational management and leadership related to innovation. Yeah, please.
I think that was a very good question, the ethical practices. So I think what is the most important thing that we need to do now is, like, because you said So thank you. So basically, you have to have the right policies in place in your education centers, organization, social media policies, the AI policies, the ethical policies, and making sure that the parents also sign it. I think that is mandatory. Like you said, if you're using with children who are lower than 12 years old, they need to have consent from the parents to use boundaries. You also have to do a lot of cybercrime classes. So unless and until you give these classes to the teachers and to the children and have your policies in place, very strong policies, that's going to backfire. So I feel that any organization working with AI now has to have policies in place. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipti ma'am. To change our teaching learning practices, we often say about project-based learning and experiential learning in modern education. Let me ask the question to Dr. Amandeep Kaur, madam. What role should experiential and project-based learning play in modern education?
Yes, sir. As I have already said that we are not only preparing the child with knowledge only, or we are not preparing the student for a particular vocation. We are preparing the students for life. Education is for their betterment. Education is the preparation of life. So when the students experience some learning and they do some projects, they learn through process. They learn via process. So education becomes a process, not a product. Like a BSc chemistry student, he should file a patent in the process, how titrations are going on, not describing the clear titration. So when learning by doing, we are taking projects, students are taking projects, so retention jumps. It jumps from 20% to almost 80% of learning. So success, as all our senses get involved in learning. So visits to virtual labs, fields, these shift from learning to I don't know to let us find out.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Now, final question to all panelists, followed by question answer sessions. Just a single last question. Looking ahead to 2035, what major transformation do you expect to see in education? From here, madam. Yeah, from here. What major transformation do you expect to see in education?
Sir, major transformation will take place only through collaboration. There should not be geographic boundaries at all. No cultural differences. Then only we will achieve something new till 2035. Thank you.
Dipti ma'am.
Thank you so much. I feel the most important innovation that should now take place is not going new, but going backwards and have culture in the school, a lot of values, a lot of mental well-being. I think that is a big thing right now with children going into depression and things like that. So well-being in the entire school with a lot of character building. Thank you.
Laxman sir, what do you expect? What can we expect by 2035?
Mm-hmm. I agree whatever our previous speakers explained about it. But in my opinion, we need to go back to the nature and we need to provide enough time to them to work with nature, with family members, with culture, with tradition, because nowadays we are being limited towards applications, gadgets, mobile phones, and so on. And then our relationships and all those families are being exploited because of this type of situation. That's why I think that will be better if we go back and if we provide enough exposure and time to the students to discuss with family members, nature, culture, tradition, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you. Amandeep ma'am.
Yes. I think by 2035, our gross enrollment ratio will increase. Technology will provide infinite information, but it will be the teacher only who will be the source of credible information, who will provide information, who will counsel the students, who will guide the student as a friend, as a philosopher, as well as guide.
Paradip sir, can we still expect the children to be inside the classrooms by 2035? Yeah, please
It's very
refer
doubtful
to this question.
Yes, it will be. It will be. It is mandatory actually.
Please add.
And there is a quoting now, air is present in the room, but we need fan to feel it. So we need the infrastructure, we need the room, we need the mentor to inculcate the things. By 2035, the education transformation will convert in the skill acquisition, which I feel one of the important part where we will work, where we will get the course. Skill acquisition. Skill acquisition among students is must. We must make our students self-reliant. They must stop the chase of white-collar jobs. They must be self-reliant. I want to give one example for that. Near Chandigarh, Rajpura Chandigarh in Punjab, there is a university, Chitkara University. In that university, maybe some of the people will be aware, I am going to tell you, there is second largest university of Asia that is on plumbing. Very important point is there. But when we go to our schools in remote areas and rural areas, we are going to talk about plumbing. We are getting the query of the parents. पहले मैं हिंदी में बताऊंगा फिर इंग्लिश में. हमने अपना बच्चा जी आपके पास टूटियां ठीक करने के लिए थोड़ी ना लगाया है. Means we are not sending our student to your school to learn the work of repairing the taps and pipes. But they are not aware that by doing that course, I am taking only one example, there are so many courses. By adapting that course and going at the top of that course after the degree, the students are getting contracts of MNCs and they are earning lakhs of money. Even they are earning more than even a doctor and an engineer in this. So by 2035, we must go to the skill acquisitions. We must make our students self-reliant. We have to remove our self-dependency.
Our panelists highlighted skill, the value-based learning, back to nature, adapting to technology, thank you. Now we would like to open this hall for the questions as well as interaction. Somebody can volunteer? We'll be taking some questions. Sriram, Dr. Sriram.
I think, I'd like to thank all the panelists for their viewpoints. And I like the point that in the present world where the AI is driving us forward, I think we need to be aware of ethical AI to make sure that we are behaving ethically and we are still, conserving our human value. Like the stand-up comedian George Carlin said, it is a paradox that we've been to the moon and back, but we don't even walk across the street to even greet a neighbor. We have got wider freeways, narrow viewpoints, spend more, enjoy less, bigger houses, smaller families, double income. So I think what we need to be aware is that when the technology drives forward, I think the human aspect and the human values, I think it will be a big challenge and we note. So I'd really like to hear the viewpoints from some of the panelists on the ethical AIs and the fact that we need to really conserve our history, culture along and make sure that technology doesn't drive us, we drive technology.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the wonderful points. But I want to put my approach that the comparative nature of AI and HI, which is human intelligence. And for that reason, there is something known as beneficial intelligence. Beneficial intelligence talks about your expertise gathered in the field of education through AI to get it beneficially shared. And that is the reflection. That is the new form of requisite among educators and can be transmitted further to people around. So my takeaway and also the say to all teachers present here that adopt beneficial AI, rather beneficial intelligence as a part of learning and sharing. Thank you.
Namaste. I would like to put forward my opinion regarding what teachers can do when AI can solve all the problem. This is simply one sentence. The teachers are required to teach the student to ask the right questions. This is my opinion. Because internet, AI supports, those things are there. They will provide a lot of information, but teachers will even then be required to teach the child to ask right question. That is my opinion. And my question, since many things are related to Nepal and India, similar educational scenario were discussed, I find a challenge considering the situation right now where European countries are having manpowers, workforce from Nepal and India. We are finding it very difficult right now to find good teachers whom we can train. If you compare the situation of the teachers we were getting last year and this year, the quality is deteriorating. Not even the person whom we can train and make the teachers. What will be the situation of the schools, especially private schools, after 10 years when the situation of availability of teacher is like this? This is my question to all the educators there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is a big challenge, but I'll begin from when I started my journey as a teacher in Nepal. That was in 2001. And when I had to hire teachers, you know, the salary that I gave the first teacher was 1800 rupees Nepali, which is probably 1000 IC, all right? So that was how we started. At that time, I literally had to bring in teachers who were bachelor's and master's studied in Nepal, but they had no clue about reading. The reading culture was so bad that when I brought in all the books and I brought in all the pedagogy, they wouldn't read. I would give them the books and I talk to them after a week and they've still not read. Then next, another 1 week and still they wouldn't have read. You know, and I used to wonder what is going on. Then I asked my mentor, my professor in the US, I said, how do I make them read? Because they don't have the capacity of reading. So then she told me, I mean, God bless her soul, she's no more. She said, why don't you sit with them and then read? So I actually spent time every evening for an hour reading along with them. And I did that for continuously 6 years. And I continue to do it. You know, so I am a type very positive, very hopeful. I know there is an exodus, you know, and a lot of people are leaving the country. I would say how they are leaving Nepal was probably in the 70s when people left India. So we are in that churning period, and I hope by 2035, a lot of people are going to come back to Nepal. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to happen, but we continue to work with them, and I know it is a challenge, but we keep giving our knowledge, our skill, and our expertise so that we bring in more teachers, because I know teaching is not a respectful job, so we need to make it very glamorous. You know, we have to say teachers, and it's a great job. So, you know, we need to tell children also, become teachers. You know, this is what I'm doing. So make the job very glamorous. That's so that more people come into the teaching job. Thank you.
Let me add on this. Okay. A successful leader is not the person who has many followers. A successful leader is someone who produces more leaders. Similarly, it's a responsibility of all educators, not to just to teach. Let's produce more educators from our side. My daughter has recently passed her SEE, grade 10. I want her to be in the field of education. So this is how I'm inspiring her and motivating her.
But you want her to be there, or she wants herself to be there?
No, I'm motivating. So as an educator, let's try to produce more educators so that we can fulfill the gap. With this note, complimenting Dipti ma'am, we will have more questions. Some more questions, please.
See, the need of the hour is the passionate and the obsessed teachers. We need those teachers who really want, half of the answer I told sir has already been given. So we need to produce, not produce, because teachers, we are nothing to teach. We can create impact. Start creating impact on the students. They themselves will follow you. So the need of the hour is we have to be obsessed with the teaching. We need to be passionate. So those who are passionate about teaching, they can create good products. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Because generally such a nice question. Good morning everyone, good afternoon to you. Because I don't know what time it is. You said it that we need to have the passionate teachers. I wouldn't agree more to it, right? But sometime I heard it saying somebody, sometimes the best classroom are not the classroom at all. Right? So generally we keep on saying that whenever you go to the school, teach, whenever you go to the classroom, just teach the student. No. Why there is always a need to teach the student? Sometimes you just need to sit and let them speak. Right? Because whenever they are coming across with their own ideas, their own perspective, their own narratives, this is how also learning also comes out. So in fact that we can also believe in that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question, please?
The panelist mentioned that there is a university in Chandigarh that's teaching plumbing to kids, but the parents, they resist it. So the problem is not quite the curriculum, but the social prestige itself. And for me, at least, it does not quite feel like an educational problem, but more of a social problem, a cultural problem, or even an economic problem. And if so, are we overestimating what we as school leaders can do? Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we close this panel discussion? Oh, one more question. Prakash sir. Just a minute, Prakash sir. Okay.
I think to answer to the societal thing, we need to now do a lot of parent awareness. Okay, so because that's the only way we can now transform our whatever we want, the parents or the society to change through parent education. So it depends on where you are, how you are. Doing a lot of parent awareness programs are very important now. Initially, parents will not be very interested. But slowly, they'll have a word of mouth and they'll start coming into the parent awareness class. I am right now investing a lot in parent awareness, more than teacher training.
Okay, thank you. This is Prakash Rasta, as already mentioned. I have a very good, I have, interviewed some students this year while having grade 11 interviews. So one of my students came with the, yes, what do you want to be in the life? Then he told me that, I want to be a teacher. I was shocked, In the, interview of the 500 plus students, I couldn't find the, such type of answer. And I'm happy that, sir, query that we will, what to do in 2035. And my question is, updating the, AI and all, people are disturbing, So how can we manage their time, Most of the people are having, more than 10 to 12 hours in the gadgets. So what could be the best idea to make them in the study? Thank you very much. These questions too, I think Dipti ma'am can answer. Thank you.
In my opinion, there is flipped learning in our education system, and we can use that method with our students as well as teachers too. I have studied one book that was published from India, and our teacher was teaching inside the classroom, and he was teaching word meaning, and there was one word E-L-E-P-H-E and the elephant, and he taught E-L-E-P-H-E and the elephant. Elephant mean bakari. And in the same time, there was an invigilator, and he was observing from outside. When the class was over, the teacher was called to the office. And in that time, he was asked, why did you teach? Elephant mean bakari. And in that time, the teacher answered, the salary, the advantages, and all those things you are given is not sufficient. If you don't increase my salary and all those things, next time when I teach you elephant, then I will tell elephant means ant. Yes. Not only bakari, next time I will teach that elephant means komilo. That's why I think sometime we need to think in different way. We need to think in different way. If we think about AI, we can provide them that types of chances or to use AI without when they are alone or when they are at their home or when they are free of time. If the teachers are there, they can discuss with teachers because teachers are alive or live library. That's why I think that will be one idea. I'm not sure whether I can satisfy your answer or not.
I want to answer something here. If you see now, I think India and Nepal, of course, we are a little bit different in terms of education. So even in 2010 and 2008, there was a whole big change about smart classes and things like that, technology abroad. But it came later to this part of the world. We were still doing books and copies. But now if you see in the cabinet in Sweden, they've changed that they're moving back, right? So no iPads in the classroom. So going back into reading and writing. So, we have to understand this is what happens. It's a churning period every time. And there's always innovation. There's always cycle. That's what's happening. But I would like to say that, taking children to outdoors, that is our paramount priority we need to do. Because at home, parents will continue with the gadgets. Trust me. So in schools, they need to be out in nature, they should be working together, collaborating together, and playing together. So I think that is something that we can focus for 8 hours that they are in the school, rather than just book knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you for the good answers. Now, I have a little question. Like many of the panelists said that we need to teach students how to use AI in a good manner. That's really a fantastic idea, which I'm not agree with. Because you won't have to teach students how to use AI because they already know it. Now you need to teach the teachers how to use AI in a good manner. Now the problem is who and how. We are supposed to teach the teachers how to use AI in a good manner. Kindly answer this. Thank you.
Sir, obviously this is the duty of the management and administration only to train their teachers only. One thing I want to add that we must say what we call the dummy admissions. We have to say no to dummy admissions. This is, I am adding to the question which was put by sir earlier. As society needs good engineers, doctors too, but we need good professional and good human beings too. So this is the issue because we are allowing students to take admissions dummy. There must be some economic issue, and we have to start these evening classes. We have to have provisions like foreign countries to study in the evening and work for the day. This will also work. Thank you.
Thank you. Here comes an end of today's first panel discussion. I express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the organizer, all the panelists, Dipti Acharya Madam, Lakshman Shrestha, Dr. Bharat Deep, Dr. Kaur Madam, and then Rajnish Bala, Dr. Rajnish Bala. Am I right? Thank you for your valuable insights. Obviously, there are a lot of takeaways, and we will try to implement all these ideas. Thank you, madam. Thank you, all the panelists. We shall have a photo. And it's time for a lunch. I guess you are all being hungry. It's time for a lunch. Please collect a coupon at the registration table. In the meantime, one of our panelists, Ms. Dipti Acharya, is flying to Canada. And we are handing over the token of love right now. May I request Dr. Sriram Vegatmathe and the chairman of Shikshalaya, chief editor and chairman of, Dr. Mathe can hand over this token of love to our Madam Dipti Acharya. Thank you all the participants. We shall have a lunch break and we'll be rejoining again. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
So you'll be spending around 2 weeks?
No lunch.